Outside, they could hear screaming. People were letting out wild shrieks, causing Meg to rigidly sit up. She snaked her body off the couch as Joe walked over to the window. He peered out the curtain to see what the commotion was all about. One of the neighbors was being dragged out of their house by her hair towards a small group of people in the street. They proceeded to kick, stab, and bite her body until the woman went silent. Joe watched on in horror as other people came willingly outside and allowed the crazed thugs to do whatever they desired to them, without a fight. It unnerved him, seeing that his neighbors were all smiling, even as they were being assaulted.
"Get away from the fucking window before they see you,"
the witch hissed. Joe looked down at her, his face in complete shock, but as he turned to look outside, a face stared back at him. The man's visage was twisted with a bloody grin. Pieces of flesh clung between his teeth. The man reared back and punched the window pane, shattering it, and dragged Joe outside. Meg covered her mouth, stifling a scream as she scurried out of the room to her bedroom. She could hear her friend crying out in pain, but there was nothing that she could do for him. The witch dragged her bed mattress over to the door to use it as a barricade, to buy herself time to think. She went over to the closet and grabbed out a small aluminum bat as more glass shattered. The ghost appeared next to Meg and stated, "They've breached your home." "You think?" the witch sarcastically whispered. "Go see how many are in here." The ghost disappeared, and all Meg could think about as she held her bat like a professional player was how to get to her SUV and make a run from the crazies. She could hear them stomping around, snarling noises echoed down the hallway. Things were being broken as the intruders searched the witch's house. "There's 4 of them, and they are coming this way. Joe is dead." Meg curtly nodded as she struggled to control her emotions. She hoped that her friend died quickly and didn't suffer, but she knew that these freaks would make it last. Picture frames were being knocked off the hallway walls, each one getting louder, and meant that she was going to have a fight. She walked backwards, keeping an eye on the door towards the window. She saw more people running through her backyard in different directions, hunting for their next victim. Across the 8-foot-tall privacy fence, Meg could see several ropes swinging from the great oak tree next door. She knew that the occupants of that house had no children and never had tree swings before. The witch had a feeling that she knew what, or rather who, was dangling from the ropes. Bangs on the bedroom door caused Meg to jump slightly. The door jostled open, enough for one of the thugs to see her. "More food," the wild-eyed man excitedly groaned as he pushed harder against the door. The mattress bucked several times before it yielded to the barrage. It bowed as it fell flat on the floor. The door was open slightly more, but was kept from opening up all the way. The wild thugs all crammed their bodies into the opening, hoping to somehow squirm their way inside. The witch seized the opportunity as she rushed over and repeatedly swung her bat down on the protruding heads. She growled frantically with each swing, her teeth clamped down as her survival rage showed itself. Blood spattered her clothes with each blow. Meg leaned on the bat like a cane, trying to catch her breath from exertion. The bodies of the thugs stacked up on each other, motionless, as blood trickled down their heads like a macabre water fountain.